But it's time now for my first guest. Now, she is without doubt one of the cinema's most successful leading ladies of all times. Her hits include Bull Durham, Thelma and Louise, and one of my favourite films of all time, Dead Man Walking, which won her an Oscar. In her new film, The Lovely Bones, she plays a chain-smoking, hard, whiskey-drinking grandmother. My kind of woman, really, to be honest. Will you please welcome the lady herself, the very lovely Susan Sarandon. Let me hear you, come on. To the asylum, Susan. Come on, let's hear you.
Thank you.
Susan, welcome to the Lunatic Asylum.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
It's lovely to see you, and welcome to London as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, how was the premiere?
It was fun. It's the first royal premiere that I've ever...
Oh, who was there? Which member of our royals was there?
The guy.
Charles.
Prince Charles, who was lovely, and he's asked me what I was doing in my spare time, and I told him that I had opened a table tennis club and bar in New York, and so I was working on that. You're laughing, but it's true. That wasn't a joke.
I know.
And he said, "Oh, I'm not very good." I said, "Oh, it's like polo. It's just like polo."
And it's safer.
It isn't, but...
I know you love table tennis. I've got your presents.
Oh, my God. You didn't know I was going to say that, did you?
No.
So this is so... You just manifested this. Just
out of thin air. Witchcraft.
Wow. Oh, my God, that's adorable.
It's a portable table tennis set, so if you're on the set or you're on location...
And you're very tiny.
Yeah, tiny. And you've got one of the 7 dwarfs with you, you know.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Do you think they'll let me get that through customs security? I don't know these days.
Now, I went to see Lovely Bones on Monday. Now, I'll tell you a story now. My dog died last week.
Oh,
and I was poor Buster. I was really down in the dumps.
Yeah.
And I went to see this film, and I've read the book, so I knew what it was about. I have to tell you, I found the film very cathartic.
Oh, good.
I really, really did.
Oh, good.
At the end of it, I came out a different person. I was like this when I went. It's a glorious film.
Well, the thing that's interesting about it is, I mean, it deals with the loss of a child and the grieving for a child and an unsolved murder, but I had read the book way before Peter Jackson asked me to do it. And then 9/11 happened. I'm a New Yorker. And after that, so many of the firefighters' wives were carrying around the book, because what it does is, even though it deals with this tragic event, something about it tells you that the energy, that energy obviously can't be destroyed. And so that when a person leaves, especially violently and unexpectedly like that, abruptly, that somehow that energy is still somewhere around. So in a strange way, it's consoling, isn't it? It's comforting.
It really is. I mean, and she's wonderful.
Oh, my God.
Isn't she?
Incandescent. She's fabulous.
And those beautiful eyes that just take over the screen.
Yeah, she's... we met Saoirse Ronan, who's now 15.
She plays the little girl who was murdered in the movie.
She's very, very special. She was in Atonement.
But the cinematography and the special effects in this film, that you've got to say, they're out of this world. There's something else completely.
Well, that is out of this world. It's a kind of in-between. Peter Jackson has created a kind of in-between world that is quite spectacular.
And he's the guy who directed Lord of the Rings, isn't he?
That's right. But he did something called Heavenly Creatures in the very beginning of his career, which Kate Winslet was in at 16 or 17, I believe. And that also dealt with an adolescent girl and a strange, violent crime. And
it's a strange story, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah. I think because the book starts with the narrator of the story and the narrator of the film is the little girl. And so there's something about hearing her voice and her say, "My name is Susie Salmon," as in the fish, and I was murdered on December 14th.
That's such a shock.
And it's shocking, but at the same time, she feels like she's in charge, so it's not voyeuristic or kind of exploitative. You get this feeling that because she's telling the story that everything's okay, ultimately. So I think that's kind of a very interesting device that exists in the book, very first sentence, and in the film, too.
She sort of reassures you all the way through the film. And I love the way she's keeping an eye on her family, trying to heal them. It's so sweet, it really is.
And solve the murder of... her father becomes obsessed with solving the murder. The mother can't deal with it, but the father does, and so she's kind of hovering around watching her younger sister grow up and do the things that she couldn't do and get her first kiss and things like that, which
That's
are
the
really...
saddest bit at the end.
It is the saddest bit, just kills you. But at the same time, you know, you're watching this horrible killer, them getting closer and closer to figuring out who it is, and so that's very satisfying.
He's wonderful. Stanley Tucci.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
yes.
God, he just
Really,
he appears
really
on screen and you know immediately.
He's such an interesting actor because I've worked with Stanley a few times, once as a director and also as an actor, and he's done so many funny things.
Yeah. I've seen him in movies being fun, and this, you just...
But this isn't funny.
He instantly repels you. As soon as he turns around on screen, you go, ugh. I mean, he's disgusting. He really is.
But very normal. There's nothing about him.
Yeah.
It's the kind of guy that lives next door and nobody would think that they're trouble of any kind, but yet there's some kind of little creepy vibe.
Something odd in the nursery
something
there,
a little,
isn't it?
yes.
There really is.
Yeah.
I love your character. She's my
Thank you.
kind of woman. I empathised with her all the way through. She drinks, she smokes, and she can't do housework. I thought we get on fabulous.
The thing is that she's like the worst mother to her daughter, you get the feeling. But then when everything falls apart, she very unexpectedly ends up being the one that holds the family together and literally lets the light in and says, we've got to move on. And that often happens where someone in a family, the parents, if they lose a child, there's one parent that wants to do nothing but remember, whether it means that they form a drunk Mothers Against Drunk Driving or become an activist against the war or whatever. And then the other one that says, let's just forget about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's just move on. We can't do it. And that causes this different way of grieving between the parents, causes a rift. But that's quite normal.
Did you enjoy playing it?
I had so much fun. You know, when you don't have the burden of sincerity, it's just fabulous.
The big hair.
Big hair, big eyelashes, and saying constantly inappropriate, callous, cruel things.
She's so callous. I mean, but you can't help, you like her, you know, you instantly
She's
like
honest.
her.
She's honest
totally
to a fault.
honest, exactly.
And so she's the one that says, no, what are you talking about? You know, she's just constantly cutting through. And that's always liberating. I mean, I wish in my next life, or the end of this life, I could be like that.
I'm coming back as that character.
Definitely.
I'm actually not that far from it now, to tell you the truth. Now, the film doesn't open here till January, but we've got a sneak preview. Watch this and enjoy. It's fabulous. She's glorious. I mean, I wish I had a grandma like that, really. I really do. She's fabulous.
Yeah, but if we all had grandmas like that, it would be different.
It would. Life would be completely different. Now, congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award in Stockholm. I believe it was a very heavy one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they made it the heaviest award just because how else do you differentiate it? You say, oh, that one in Stockholm, that was the heaviest one I've ever gotten.
That's the one I fell through the stage with.
Yeah, I think it's even heavier than the Oscar, actually.
Is the Oscar heavy?
The Oscar's very heavy.
Really?
But this one is maybe it was in competition with the Oscar. I don't know. It's a horse, and it's really heavy.